Hello, my name is Abdullah Esa Shebani, and now I'll be showing you, presenting you a demo of my PSM2 project. The title of my project is a near real-time web-based Twitter data visualization tool for the 2024 United States elections. Here's a brief description of my project for users to read on the user website. Now this is the home page of my website. There are 3 other pages. Each page represents the a respective visualization. So we have a tweet map here, a bar chart, as well as a tornado chart. So let's look at the visualizations first, and then we'll be showing you how my website pulls data and then visualizes it. So here is our first map, or the first visualization. In this visualization, or in this page, we can see the title as well as a description of the visualization. Then we see the actual tweet map itself. What this shows is it shows the distribution of tweets across the United States. Since we're pulling tweets only from the US, we only have a visualization for the US map. And what we can notice here is we have a legend on the top left, which displays the levels of intensity based on the range or the number of tweets that were posted from the respective state. We also notice a filter here, which allows us to toggle between the Donald Trump and Joe Biden's the tweets. Also have on the left, you have a set of controls that allow us to control the map by zooming in, zooming out, resetting the view, as well as a download image here that lets us download the visualization in a PNG format, as you can see here. So one additional feature that this map has is its interactivity. So when we hover on every state, we can see that the name dynamically changes, as you notice over here. So for every state we hover on. And another thing is when you click on a respective state, let's click on North Dakota, for instance. We click on it, we can see the tweets that were posted in that state as well. So the first one is this tweet would be the content itself of the tweet, as well as the date, username, and the URL. So when we click on the URL, it can take us to the tweet itself. So if you click here, it will redirect us to that respective tweet, as you can see over here. And since this number here, 700, represents the total number of tweets for this respective candidate, we can scroll down and see that there were 7 tweets that mention or have the name of Donald Trump occur in that tweet. For example, such as this one tweets it tags or it mentions Donald Trump. This one also talks about Donald Trump, as you can see over here, and the rest do the same. So based on this level of intensity, you can notice that in some states such as California, Colorado, Arkansas, Alabama, Florida, and other states, they talk about Donald Trump the most, or those are the states where there's the highest amount of engagement towards the candidate. So if we also look at Joe Biden, we can also see some similarities. We notice that for California and Arkansas, we have Alabama as well, and Indiana. Those are some of these states that have the highest number of tweets for both candidates. Moving on to the second visualization, we notice that there's a bar chart here, which allows us to interactively change between, view the visualization from a start and end date. Now, since our project only pulls data from 1 month prior to the presidential debate, which has happened on the 27th of June, this data pulls the information from the 26th of May to the 26th of June 2024. Now, as we notice here, there are 3 checkboxes. Those allow us to toggle on and off the respective candidates' tweets. We can also do the same for Joe Biden. And then there's an additional one here that shows tweets that mention or have the names of the candidates occur in the same tweet, which, as you can see here in yellow. We can also play around with the filter over here by choosing a start and end date, which will dynamically update and allow us to view the number of tweets in this specific duration. As you can see, the x-axis here has a start and end date, so which is the 26th in this case, 26th of May until the 18th of June. And the y-axis represents the number or the total number of tweets from this specific period. You can also download the image, the visualization as an image, as a PNG format by clicking here and then saving it and viewing the visualization. So we can view the visualization from that specific period. So if we toggle on or off a visualization, for instance, such as this one, a candidate, we can download the information or download the visualization without, in this case, Joe Biden's tweets. So we can also change the start date as well. We can view the tweets posted on a given day or a given 2 days, for example, and this axis will tell us how many tweets were posted from that respective date. We can also hover to view the count of tweets. So, for instance, this is Donald Trump, this is Joe Biden, and the yellow represents both. Now we'll be moving on to the last visualization, which is the tornado chart. Now, the way that this works is it provides or displays a comparison between the total number of tweets of both candidates. So they're compared side by side. So the blue here represents Joe Biden, while the red represents Donald Trump, and they are sorted based on the states. So in this visualization at the moment is displayed in alphabetical order. What we could do is play around with this filter over here to allow us to sort by highest or lowest or alphabetical order. So when we do that, the visualization will dynamically update. So if we look at highest, we notice that for Donald Trump has 741 in Arkansas. Joe Biden has 591 in the entire duration. We can also notice if we sort by lowest, we notice that some tweets have, some states have 0, which means that the tweets in those states have very low engagement compared to other states. Because what our program does, or what our project does, it pulls the most popular tweets that have the most engagement. That means the most retweets, the most comments, etc. So states such as California, Arkansas have the highest engagement, and they post the most and engage the most with tweets that mention or specific candidates, or have the names of the candidates occur in the tweet content. Now we'll be looking at how the architecture itself of the project and how it pulls the visualization. So since we're using a web scraping platform called Appify, this is the dashboard of Appify. Now this is our app, and in our app we have to set up the input parameters. In this case we have search terms, which means this input parameter will help the app know what tweets to look for. So we have provided it with the list of names and usernames to scrape from. So it will look for tweets that have or contain those specific search terms or keywords. So such as Biden, Trump, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and real Donald Trump. Now the last 3 represents the user handles or the usernames of the candidates. So Donald Trump has 2 accounts. This is Joe Biden's Twitter handle, along with their respective last names. There are other types of filters as well. So for instance, this one filters by English, and so it only pulls tweets that are in English. There are other filters such as this one, which is a geotag that pulls the tweets from a given radius. So what this shows is the longitude and latitude as well as the radius. So it will pinpoint the middle of the United States, and it will create a radius of 2,500 kilometers and pull all tweets from that given radius. And in here we can set the start and end date. We can do it either manually, or we can schedule it. So in our case, the scheduling would be, the start date would be from the 26th of May, and the end date would be the 26th of June. So that's the 1 month duration that we want our the app to pull tweets from. We don't want it to pull tweets before or after. There are other advanced options here. Now this is our some code here that we have that normalizes some of the fields that the app will return. In this case, it normalizes the location tweets. It also does a few other normalizations for other tweets, such as the candidate. So it will check which tweet talks about which candidate. So it has certain keywords here to check, and then separate the candidates that talk about Biden, and separate the tweets that talk about Biden, and separate the tweets that talk about Donald Trump. Moving on, once this actor finishes running, now another thing that I forgot to mention is the scheduling. This actor is scheduled, and the way it works is it's scheduled to run every week. So once this actor finishes running, the workflow automation tool on Zapier will detect that this actor finished running, as you can see here. And once it detects this, it takes all of the information and it places it on a Google Sheet. This is what a Google Sheet looks like. This is an example of the output. Once the scheduling starts, it pulls the tweets, and once that the app finishes scraping the tweets, the Zapier takes all of that data and places it on a Google Sheet, just as you can see here. So we have the ID field, the text field, the date field, the username, URL, as well as the location and candidate fields. Now, in order to insert the data, we use the Apps script platform, which is a scripting platform made by Google. This is the code that we have. We have JavaScript code here that connects to our database, to our remote database. So we have provided it with the username, database, password, the host name, as well as the password of the MySQL account. And then it inserts all of the information into our tweets table. So it takes in all of the columns, the ID, text, created at, author, URL, location, and candidate key. And what it does is inserts all of this information into those respective columns in our database. So this is the for loop over here that reads the information row by row. It also filters some of the information and checks for redundancies and spam. So it ignores all of the spam and redundancies, and it only inputs the processed, clean, formatted, and normalized data. This is our database over here. It is hosted on remotely on Hostinger, which is a web hosting platform. Here's an example of what the fields look like. So we have the ID field, the text field, the date field after it has been normalized. So originally it looked like this. It was a timestamp. So the date, the time, the seconds, etc. And then after it's normalized, it looks like this. We have the author, which is the username, the URL of the tweet, as well as the location, which is the state in this case. And then candidate key represents which candidate the tweet mentions or talks about. DT stands for Donald Trump. Both means that the tweet talks about both. And then you also have Joe Biden, which in this case we're using the acronym JB. So using the connection details, our code pulls this data whenever the user opens the website in order to visualize the information that you see on our 3 visualizations here. Thank you very much. That is the end of this demo.